The ocean depths hold countless stories, tales of triumph and tragedy, of life and loss. Beneath the waves, history is preserved in the cold, dark silence, waiting to be discovered and remembered. But few maritime disasters have captured the world's imagination quite like the sinking of the RMS Titanic. This grand ship, once hailed as the epitome of luxury and technological advancement, now lies in ruins at the bottom of the ocean, a somber monument to human ambition and hubris. On a frigid night in April of 1912, this seemingly invincible behemoth, a marvel of Edwardian engineering, met its match in the unforgiving icy expanse of the North Atlantic. The Titanic, with its opulent interiors and state-of-the-art safety features, was thought to be unsinkable. Yet it was on this maiden voyage that it encountered an iceberg, leading to one of the deadliest maritime disasters in history. Over a century later, the Titanic's story continues to fascinate and haunt us. The ship's remains, scattered across the ocean floor, are a poignant reminder of the lives lost and the dreams shattered. Modern explorations have revealed personal artifacts, bringing the human aspect of this tragedy to the forefront. It serves as a stark reminder of the awesome power of nature and the fragility of human life, even when armed with the most advanced technology of the time. The Titanic's sinking was not just a failure of engineering but also a failure of human foresight and preparedness. Join us now as we delve into the depths of this maritime tragedy, exploring the 6 crucial mistakes that led to the sinking of the unsinkable Titanic. From the design flaws and inadequate lifeboats to the ignored iceberg warnings and the chaotic evacuation, each factor played a critical role in the disaster. This is not just a story of a shipwreck, it's a tale of human choices, of overconfidence and miscalculation, and ultimately, of the tragic loss of over 1,500 lives. The legacy of the Titanic endures, reminding us of the delicate balance between human innovation and the unpredictable forces of nature. As we remember those who perished, we also reflect on the lessons learned from this catastrophe, hoping to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again. The Titanic was more than just a ship. She was a symbol of human ingenuity, a marvel of modern engineering, and a testament to the era's technological advancements. She was a floating palace of luxury and technological prowess, designed to offer the utmost comfort and elegance to her passengers. Her designers, builders, and owners proudly proclaimed her practically unsinkable, a feat of human achievement that defied the very forces of nature. This belief, this unwavering faith in the Titanic's invincibility, would prove to be a fatal error. Complacency set in, and the ship's crew and passengers were lulled into a false sense of security. Safety measures, deemed almost unnecessary for such an unbreakable vessel, were given less priority. The ship's design included only enough lifeboats for a fraction of those on board. The number of lifeboats, for instance, was woefully inadequate, a mere 20 for over 2,200 passengers and crew, a testament to the prevailing belief that the Titanic would never truly sink. Lifeboat drills were infrequent and poorly executed, further compounding the risk. This overconfidence, this unshakable faith in human engineering, blinded those aboard the Titanic to the very real dangers lurking beneath the surface of the icy Atlantic. The iceberg that lay in wait was an unseen menace, a silent threat that would shatter their illusions. The stage was set for a disaster of unprecedented proportions. As the Titanic struck the iceberg, the reality of their vulnerability became painfully clear. The ship that was deemed unsinkable was now sinking, and the insufficient lifeboats meant that many would not survive the icy waters of the Atlantic. The Titanic, despite her immense size, was woefully under-equipped in terms of lifeboats. This was a glaring oversight for a ship that was touted as the epitome of luxury and safety. Regulations at the time linked lifeboat capacity to a ship's tonnage, not its passenger capacity. This outdated rule failed to account for the increasing number of passengers on newer, larger ships. This meant the Titanic, designed to carry over 3,500 souls, only had enough lifeboats for around half that number. The ship's designers and owners believed that the Titanic's advanced safety features would prevent any need for a full evacuation. This critical oversight stemmed from a dangerous gamble, a belief that even if the unthinkable happened, help would arrive before all the lifeboats were needed. They assumed that nearby ships would come to the rescue in time, a risky assumption that would prove fatal. It was a gamble with human lives, a gamble that would have devastating consequences. The crew was not adequately trained for a full-scale evacuation, and the lifeboat drills were minimal and poorly executed. When disaster struck, the lack of lifeboats transformed a terrifying situation into a desperate fight for survival. Panic and chaos ensued as passengers and crew scrambled to find a place in the limited lifeboats. Hundreds were left stranded on the sinking ship, their fate sealed by a numbers game gone tragically wrong. The icy waters of the Atlantic claimed the lives of over 1,500 people, a somber reminder of the catastrophic consequences of inadequate safety measures. As the Titanic steamed towards New York, the airwaves crackled with warnings, whispers of danger in the icy expanse ahead. Multiple ships, some in the Titanic's vicinity, relayed messages of icebergs, of treacherous ice fields lying in wait. These warnings, though, were not given the weight they deserved. Some were relayed to the ship's captain, but not all reached the bridge. Others were seemingly ignored, dismissed as insignificant in the face of the Titanic's supposed invincibility. The warnings were there, like whispers in the night, but they went unheeded, lost in the hubris of human ambition. The Titanic, a beacon of human progress, sailed blindly towards its icy fate. The Titanic was on a tight schedule, a race against time to reach New York and deliver its passengers to their destinations. Despite the iceberg warnings, the ship maintained a high speed, a decision that would have catastrophic consequences. The faster the ship traveled, the less time the crew had to react to any obstacles in its path. The icy waters of the North Atlantic demanded caution, a respect for the power of nature. Yet, the Titanic steamed ahead, its engines throbbing with a confidence that bordered on arrogance. The illusion of control, the belief that technology could conquer all, fueled this reckless pursuit of speed. In the end, it was a race the Titanic could not win, a race that ended in tragedy. In the vast emptiness of the open ocean, visibility is paramount, especially on a moonless night. The Titanic's lookouts, stationed high above the deck, were the first line of defense against any unseen danger. They relied on their keen eyesight, their ability to pierce the darkness and spot any potential threats. Yet these men, entrusted with the safety of all those aboard, were denied a crucial tool: binoculars. A last-minute oversight, a forgotten key to the locker where the binoculars were stored, left the lookouts practically blind in the darkness. This seemingly small detail, this lack of foresight, would have devastating consequences. The iceberg, looming large in the Titanic's path, remained unseen until it was too late. When the iceberg struck, it pierced the Titanic's hull, sending shockwaves through the ship. What followed was a scene of chaos and confusion, a testament to the lack of adequate emergency procedures. There had been no lifeboat drills, no systematic plan for evacuating the ship. Passengers and crew alike were thrust into a nightmare, left to fend for themselves in the face of unimaginable terror. The lack of clear instructions, the absence of a coordinated response amplified the panic and fear. Precious time was lost, opportunities for a more organized evacuation squandered. In the end, the lack of preparedness, the failure to anticipate and plan for such a disaster, contributed to the tragic loss of life. The sinking of the Titanic remains one of the most poignant maritime disasters in history. It's a story that continues to resonate, reminding us of the importance of humility, preparedness, and respect for the power of nature. The Titanic's legacy is not just one of loss, but also of lessons learned. The tragedy led to significant improvements in maritime safety regulations, from increased lifeboat requirements to the establishment of international ice patrol agencies. Though the Titanic now rests on the ocean floor, her story serves as a timeless reminder. Even the grandest of human creations are no match for the unpredictable fury of the natural world.